我这可以了，好呀，那我们今天呢，继续讲龙清心髓前行引导文。那龙清心髓前行引导文呢，我们有外前行、内前行。那我们外前行讲完了，在内前行里面，那内前行里面呢，皈依发心金刚萨埵，然后供养曼扎拉。里面呢，我们现在在供养曼扎拉里面。那供养曼扎拉里面呢，分两个部分。我们实际上的修这个37堆曼扎拉、三身曼扎拉以及7堆曼扎拉，这些都讲完了。接下来呢，就是积累资粮的格萨类的修法，也是积累资粮的部分。那这个部分呢，我们上次已经讲了前面的那些部分了。接下来呢，就后面的一小段，就是怎么样修这些法的部分大致上讲完了，还有一点就是我们继续就是讲下去这样。
So today we'll continue on the Longchen Nyingtik preliminary teaching. It consists of both outer and inner preliminary teaching. We have finished the outer preliminary teaching. Continue on the inner preliminary teaching. This teaching consists of several subjects, such as taking refuge, arousing bodhicitta, the practice of Vajrasattva, and the offering of mandala. And now we will continue on the offering, the major subject of the offering mandala. Previously, we have covered regarding the offering mandala. We have covered several subsections, such as the different types of mandala offering. There are 37 element mandala offering, the mandala offering of the 3 kayas according to this text, and also the 7 element mandala offering as well. And then afterward, we have continued on the Kusali accumulation that is also included in the offering mandala. We have covered majority of the content on the Kusali accumulation, and today we'll be continuing on in the sort of like the last section of the Kusali accumulation, or basically on how we engage into this kind of practice.
Chosam chosidum choyirtum chibatam chemong pingala nyambarjas. Shir chozon namle kanjit amarjit tanjit nangji tenji Shachang, Dur Kanjit on Tanjan Nile, Amarjit on Nanjit Mepain, Lara Tastatina, Chushit per Lumba Namne, Chuzirjit, Hanti Maron Watao, Sat Jet of the Pardon, Tatne, Lopper, Ship, Toxicili, Yimper, Zong, Teni, Chupa, Zervateon, Titon Nambatan, Chet, Young Puntukarnamte, Zirdon Larger Kone, Wachit Yoba, Sendi Limkan Towers, Yudgu. Nyamsang Napa Sola Chusubi Tseyong Tun Tiger Nambi Toxiki Huachiti or Domuk Pora Zamdata Katsurdong Kapo Nyam the dog sitting or don't Parmo Tani Napi Jala Nichumbi Kusur Yanchet Tate De Handy Dr. Lumber and Dukjong Den David Chute Nutritin Nutrients Magic Zane Toma Mepi Tini Linganjir Gypsy Jinganjir Lungi did Turnong Dungar Kona Lankur Moik to Shoching Sitamna Nansung Tondoli Rosa Mepi Handel Dubachan Teto Nurgis Churchizon de Runga Shatromo Don Totromo Zisipshin Sham Nurgis Shanju Simjis Noa Jirto Runga Kurt Dava Imbala Maung Bishunkan Chimbo Teta King Nurgis Churchizon Nur Handi Maranwa Teto Sabaton Trubaton Donor Lomba Noxud Look Ditchi of Tambatari Stalin Shang Tevin the Nopo to Gustul Pala, so Pastor Longchen Nyingtik Somba Tamjing, Sham Nyingtik Ngondro symptom turn toxicity, landing the road on back corner, Dupi Shuros, corner Dupi Shuros. No, yeah, 中文的法本的话，就是在324页哈。诸断法论点中，本来宣说了素、昏、花、黑4种灾，但这里只列举了素灾 即华灾二，而无有昏灾或黑灾。当今时代，有些自以为断法者的人，认为所谓的断法即是通过残杀、砍剁、殴打、驱逐等手段，彻底消灭那些凶神恶煞的粗暴事业，所以他们时时刻刻都是威怒逼人、为生嗔恨、拱高傲慢，好以使阎罗欲罪一般，并且对病人等行诸法时，断法时，也是以怒不可遏的粗暴行为，睁着碗大的双眼，怒目而视，紧咬下唇，同时紧握双拳，猛力殴打，甚至将病人身上的衣服也撕得破烂。这里呢就主要是讲有些就是自己以为是修断法的人，这个呢是曾经在有些地方出现过这样的人，然后他们还没有真正的理解断法的意义是什么，为什么有这个断法？断法真正是可以降魔的，可以驱魔的，但是呢，他们真正没有理解到断法的含义的时候，以为驱魔跟这个降魔就是需要用很凶残的，然后要很这个这个用殴打啦这样的行为来驱逐这些魔，所以就有些人就是以这样的方式去做。所以呢，这里主要就是在讲这种做法不是真正的断法。
The English is on page 2302. In the Cho text, there are 4 gray feasts: white, red, variegated, and black. In this one, there are the white and variegated, but no red or black feasts. What today's so-called Cho practitioners mean by Cho is a grisly process of destroying malignant spirits by killing, slashing, chopping, beating, or chasing them. Their idea of Cho involves being constantly full of anger. Their bravado is nothing more than hatred and pride. They imagine they have to behave like the henchmen of the Lord of Death. For example, when they practice Cho for a sick person, they work themselves into a fierce display of rage, staring with hate-filled eyes as large as saucers, clenching their fists, biting their lower lips, lashing out with blows, and grabbing the invalid so hard they tear the clothes off of his back. So here, this is what he here mainly talks about is that there are certain some of the people who claim they are the Cho practitioners. If this kind of people appear during a certain time where they don't really understand the true meaning of this Cho practice. The Cho practice itself can have the function or the ability to subdue spirit, evil spirit or demons. However, for these kind of people, they lack the true, they don't really understand the meaning or how to engage in this practice, and just assume that to use violent or cruel display or violent gestures to as a way to get rid of or subdue evil spirits. But that is not really how the Cho practice work. So this is what we have been talking about. So here, and that's what they have displayed here is not a true authentic way of practicing Cho.
比如说，作为一个修断法的瑜伽士，他们的法器比如说是那个鼓就是很大的这个鼓，那敲起来就是很就是慎重然后呢，就是他们吹的那个这个叫什么人的腿的鼓 人腿的骨，然后他们的法器里面有嘎巴拉啊，就是人头的这个嘎巴拉头盖骨啊，然后就有很多法器看起来是比较就是不一样的，好像是这样的，但是呢真正上来说，很多人对这些的含义完全不了解，完全不知道这些的含义，以为他是真的是就是要有这样很凶恶的残暴的这样手段来驱魔所以呢就可能是这样做的，然后他们就是只是看一些表面上的这些断法瑜伽师的一些修行，然后呢就是从表面上去学，然后呢就去做一些这样的事情。这里主要就是在这个讲的就是这一个部分，但是真正的那个修断法的人，真正的断法是不是这样的？真正的断法是这个修行者他要在内在有很多的这个升起刺激的修法，圆满刺激的修法，然后在内在还有很多的不是很多的，有很坚定的，就是这个菩提心以菩提心为主来度化来驱魔，或者是来这个降服这些这个魔类的，是这样来的，而不是说他们有些人看到表面上的这一个层面，不是这样的。所以这里主要就是在区分这一个差别。
For example, as you may see, sometimes you see a yogi practitioner who is practicing Cho. You can see many of their display may be a little different, such as the Dharma assemblies that they use, or the tools, or the kind of like different instruments they use. For example, the large Dharmaru that you often see, that when they engage in the playing of the Dharmaru, it's a very large drum, and then it seems to be very formal, very kind of very serious in a way. That and also when they play the drum or when they play the dharmaru, also they would see sometimes you see they would blow on the human femur bone, kind of like one of those instruments they use, and also as well the Kabbalah as a human skull they use as an instrument. So these dharma instruments that these yogi practitioners use, on the surface they seem to appear to be a little different, or a little bit more different what people are accustomed to. However, in reality, not many people truly understand what the meaning of these instruments are. Some people just kind of look on the surface and they assume that this from the superficial level, that in order to subdue evil spirits, they will need these kind of engage in a violent or kind of a more barbaric, cruel way. And because they only assume what they see on a superficial level when they see what a Cho yogi practitioner used, they just think, oh, that is just what they are. And so they take on or imitate this practice in a superficial way. So this is what this passage is talking about. However, as a true, authentic Cho practitioner, that is really not the case. This practitioner must have many inequalities many of the inequalities, such as the level of practice in regarding to the generation and the completion phase level practice, as well as a very important key element of bodhicitta. The practitioner must mainly use as bodhicitta as the way in order to subdue evil spirits or demons. So really it's not just what it appears to be as what people see on the outer level, on the surface. So this paragraph is to really place the difference here between what a true practitioner or those who just imitate on a superficial way.
比如说在断法的一些修法里面，比如说有一个人他被着魔了，然后呢就是生病，这样的时候呢通常这个人就比如说他到一个瑜伽师的那里去就是帮他修法。那这样修法的时候呢，那这个瑜伽师呢，他在那个断法里面专门有驱魔这样的一个修法。 那专门驱魔的这种修法里面呢，它有它的就是一种方式，怎么样把这些魔就是跟这个病人分离，然后呢，以怎么样的方式来用怎么样的一个加持或者一个功德来保护这个病人，然后呢不会被这些魔再来干扰他，有这样的修法。那在这些的修法的过程当中呢，有一个这么长的一个就是像金刚结一样的这个东西就是这么长的，然后这个呢就会这样轻轻的这样拍一下这个病人的背上肩膀上或者头上，这样就是加持一下这样。所以呢，真正的修行上是有这样的，但是很多人不是很多人，就是有一些人呢就以为这个就是在打这个魔，然后就把魔赶走，然后就是他们就以为这个就是这个诸法，然后就是不懂的人就是用力的这样打这个病人，然后甚至这里讲的甚至把病人的衣服都撕破掉，这些就是有出现过这样的人，他们是不懂，他们不懂这个用这个金刚结这样敲或者加持这个病人的背的含义是什么，它里面的那个这个修行是什么根本不懂，所以有人这样去做，所以呢这里提到的这个意思就是这样的。如果我们不这样讲一下，大家会不知道为什么要撕破衣服，为什么要叫捶，为什么要打这样。
For example, in some of the practice of Cho, for example, if there's a person who is ill, an ill person that may have been troubled with evil spirit or have some kind of illness due to the evil spirits harming, if that person goes to, if the ill person or a patient goes to in front of the yogi practitioner who specializes in the practice of Cho, then there's actually particular ways in order to subdue the evil spirit. And there's like a certain way of method that you can separate the evil spirit from the ill person, or kind of or bless the person, the sick person, with a quality, like a positive quality to protect this sick person and prevent further harms from the evil spirit. And in this practice, there's this really kind of like a wide, long instrument, such as what we refer to as a Vajra knot, that the practitioner would gently use the knot to slap on the patient's back or head in order to offer blessing or to separate the evil spirit. So there is some practice like that. However, there are some people, not many, some people, when they see this, they assume this is the way to beat the spirit out of beat the evil spirit out of the patient or the sick person. So they just imitate that way, and they really, when they practice, they don't really know the meaning of this, and so they just really beat the sick person really hard, and some of these people even sometimes the clothes even get ripped off from this beating, and that is because there's these type of people, they lack the understanding, the true understanding of what this means, what the Vajra knot means, or the meaning of the blessing. They don't know the practice on a deep level. They only see what they observe on a superficial way, so they just imitate that. So this is what we refer to here. So this is to clarify, so that you may see why there's some kind of people, certain people, those imitators, they would beat the patient or the sick person really hard, that even the clothes rip off. So this came from them imitating kind of like this kind of practice that we just mentioned.
他们自以为这样可以降服鬼神，但此种做法是完全错误的。玛基拉顿也说，对于从无始以来以业力为因，被恶缘之风所吹，恒时处于迷乱显现之中，不断感受痛苦，死后立即将堕入恶趣，深州凶恶残暴的那些鬼神，我是以大悲的铁钩钩着他们，以自己的温热血肉布施他们，以慈悲菩提心转变他们的心，并将其 取兽为自己的眷属。可是未来末法时期，那些伟大的断法者认为断法是指残杀、驱逐、殴打那些我以大悲铁钩招的凶神恶煞这些断法，OK。这就是 Majin Ladun。Majin Ladun 是一个女性的空行母。这个女性的空行母呢，就是我们所谓的断法，就是来自于这位空行母的修行。她就是一个专门以修断法成就者的一个空行母。所以他就说，他修的断法，他所谓的断法是什么？他是以慈悲心、大慈大悲的心。来勾招这些凶恶的这些鬼神，然后呢，以自己的血肉去布施他们，然后呢，将他们的心转为菩提心，然后呢，这样来就是度化他们。但是呢，在未来的有些自以为是这个诸法的修行者们，可能会有就是刚刚上面提到的这样的行为来做这个修这个断法，但是这个是完全错误的。
They call this subduing spirits, but to practice Dharma like that is totally mistaken. Majin Lodrum says, since time without beginning, harmful spirits have lived in a ceaseless world of hallucination and suffering, brought on by their own evil actions and inauspicious circumstances, which drive them like a wind. When they die, they inevitably plunge to the very depth of the lower realm. With the hook of compassion, I catch those spirits, offering them my warm flesh and warm blood as food. Through the kindness and compassion of bodhicitta, I transform the way they see everything and make them my disciples. Those malignant spirits are for me the prize that I hold with the hook of compassion. But the great adepts of Cho of the future will boast of killing them, casting them out, or beating them. And so here, this great master, Majin Lodrum, is a great master, a female Dakini. She is the what we refer to. She's the founder, of this Cho practice. The practice of Cho came from this great master. So she is someone who has specialized in this practice and have attained the ultimate spiritual accomplishment. So here she defines that her practice, the Cho, is using great compassion, really the great compassion to summon these evil spirits, and then offering them with her own flesh and blood as a practice of generosity, and transform the mind of these evil spirits into bodhicitta. So this is what she refers as the true practice of Cho. But here, as it says, she says that in the future, those followers of the Cho, some of the followers of the Cho practice may mistaken that thinking the practice is only using for thinking this practice focus on killing them, as mentioned here, killing them, casting them out, or beating these evil spirits, and that is the wrong way, as the Majin Lodrum have mentioned here.
然后在这里所说的恒时处于迷乱现象之中，不断受痛苦的这些就是在讲这些鬼神。其实这些鬼神，我们以为他们就是很有这个力量的，他们就没有痛苦，不是的，他们是非常非常没有自由的，然后他们是恒时都处于在一个非常痛苦的一个环境当中因为他们的业力，说业风就是追去他们，所以呢，他们根本毫无自由的，就是被业风，就好像我们在那个外面在这风大的时候，我们放一个羽毛在那个外面的时候，这个羽毛是完全没有自由的， 风向哪里吹，它就往哪里吹。所以这些鬼神也是基本上就是跟业力而牵引，自己是毫无自由的。然后呢，当他们这个鬼神的这个生命结束之后，就直接堕入到恶趣的。所以他们是非常非常可怜的众生，是我们应该要发慈悲来就是度化他们的一个对境，而不是用凶恶残暴的方式来对付他们的。所以这里玛吉拉准就是讲的以慈悲来度化他们这样。
So here you can also see, it was mentioned here, since time without beginning, harmful spirits have lived in a ceaseless world of hallucination and suffering brought on by their own evil action. So here this refers to the evil spirits that we often, these refer to the evil spirits. So sometimes we may think that these evil spirits are very powerful, they have really have very strong ability. However, they are really the opposite. They are constantly in a state of suffering. Due to their own negative karmic force, they lack the freedom to do what they want, and they always continue remain in the state of suffering. And they have no freedom to have their own will. It's just really like if you go outside when the wind is really strong, if you hold a feather outside and with the wind blowing, the feather itself has no freedom at all. It will only flow accordingly to whichever the wind takes. So just like that, the evil spirits have really no freedom. And when they have died, they will only be going down and dwelling into lower realms. So they are actually very pitiful. They really should be the subject of compassion. We should be compassionate towards them, not as not to subdue them in a really violent or cruel way. So this is what Maji Lobchen have mentioned here.
这是邪断法，是魔教与信圣之标志。就说之上讲的这个就是用就是不当的手段来驱魔的这些方法，这就是这不是真正的断法，这叫做邪断法，也叫做这个也是一个就是魔教行圣的一个标志这样。
So here continues on. That will be a sign that false doctrine of Cho, the teaching of demons, are spreading. So this, as Majalodra mentioned here, this wrong way of engaging this practice is referred to as the false doctrine, and then also as a symbol in which the teaching of the demon is spreading.
这个不只是在断法里面，现在在世间有很多这样的嘛，说在驱魔在赶魔在降魔等等的，有不一样的宗教里面，或者是在打着佛教的名号，然后做这样的事情的人，世界上很多嘛。我们都现在大家在网络上什么到处都看得到。这些是什么呢？这些叫做邪法，这些就是魔教不是真正的佛教，他们不是真正的一个在有能力来驱魔或是来利益众生的一个方法，这些叫做邪教。
So not only not only to this Cho practice, but there are also many of the different practice in the world, in this mundane world, that some people may use to subdue the evil spirits. They may use the name of the Buddha Dharma. However, they really just engage in a really violent way to subdue evil spirit. So that's really the false doctrine, and that is really the teaching of the demon, because that is considered as the false doctrine, because it's not able, this way of practice, that kind of practice, is not able to benefit these evil spirits, but instead only harm them. So that is a false doctrine, that is against the teaching of the Buddha Dharma.
并又说此外将出现9种黑断法等邪断法。 因为这都是远离慈悲菩提心而唯一残暴行为降服神鬼的写法。这种做法虽然可以降服个别势单力薄的鬼魔，但如果遇到一些凶猛残暴的鬼神，反而有失自己生命的丧失自己的生命的通过限量所见的许多事例可以证明这一点，尤其是对修持正法的补特伽罗而言很难以了知。他们所得到的降魔加持等能力是真正的道相功德还是魔障因为大多数鬼是神大多数鬼是神差之人呢神差之人，表面上也具有神通能力等，但从长远来看，他们的言行举止定与正法越来越相违最终连芝麻许的善心也不会有了，结果自己得到的就是如须弥山般的幸财与受之灾并其所压虽获得少份财产，但对今生也无有利益，最后连维生的衣饰也无法得到。或者但因舍不得享用而饿死、冻死。如前面所说，这些人死后必定会转身于孤独地狱等恶趣中。这就是其实我们今生就看到很多这样的自己没有正法的修正，也不是以修正道而得到的神通然后呢，常常在那里讲神通然后就是讲神话的这些人大部分都是着魔，然后就是被魔然后呢干扰了，然后呢就是一魔的干扰而自己产生了一点点的神通，然后呢以这样一点点的神通加上自己的一些谎言然后呢就可以这个欺骗很多很多的信众欺骗很多的信众的当下呢，就自己就越来越在造业了。也许这样的人开始的时候是个佛教徒，但是因为被这样的一个影响，慢慢的到最后观察一下自心的时候，连一个对佛法僧三宝真正的一个信心都不存在。然后到最后呢就是虽然有一些信徒，也有一些信财，但是这些就会变成一个像须弥山王那么大的一个债务压在自己的身上，死后就是堕地狱，只有这样，所以没有其他任何的意义。
All the various false chod practice that she predicted, such as the ninefold black chod, are only the result of thinking that one can subjugate evil spirit through violence without love and compassion of bodhicitta. A person who uses those practices might just able to overcome one or two puny little elemental spirits. But if he encounters any really vicious ones, they will attack his life in retaliation, as have been seen to happen on many occasions. It is particularly difficult for a practitioner to tell whether signs of success which occur on the path, the subjugation of a demon, or the experience of some kind of blessing, for instance, are authentic signs of progress, or whether they are in fact obstacles created by demonic forces. People possessed by malicious spirits usually seem to have clairvoyance and supernatural powers, but as time goes on, they get further and further from the genuine Dharma, until not even the tiniest scrap of goodness is left in them. the mountains of offering may have been heaped upon them are just karmic debt for the future, and even in this life do them no good. In the end, they find it hard to scrap together enough to eat or wear, and what they do have, they cannot bear to use up. When they die, they are sure to be reborn in ephemeral hell or some such realm, as we have already mentioned. So this is some of the example that we can observe in this world. There are certain people, that they don't have the authentic, the genuine signs of realization in the Buddhist path, and or they have attained some kind of clairvoyance or supernatural power that is not based on the right path, the path of the Buddha Dharma, and they continue to boast about these things. They talk about these constantly. Some of them, most of them, actually, these type of people are facing obstacles created by the evil spirits. Due to this kind of obstacles, they may have developed a little bit of clairvoyance or supernatural power, and also with their lies, they can quickly harbor many of these followers that would follow them. However, as they continue to go on, this only creating negative karmic debt. These kind of people, they may initially be a Buddhist practitioner. However, as time goes on, towards the end, they may not even have a slightest devotion to the three jewels. And as they continue to harbor these offerings from the followers, these are only just creating more and more karmic debt for them. And then the only result in the end is that they be born into the lower realms of hell.
现在的我们佛教徒里面有很多的人都很喜欢追求神通，只要说这个有神通那个有神通他也不管这个是一个正法或是这个是邪法都不管，就是直接就去追求这个神通，所以这个是一个很大很大的错误。如果我们作为一个佛教徒，我们追求的是什么？我们追求的不是神通，我们追求的是解脱。那就算是我们要追求神通，也不是这种方式而追求的那是什么样的方式可以追求神通呢？你去真正的想要神通，你就要根据我们佛教里面所讲的一步一步的闻思修的时候，这个神通是不需用追求而自然会有的。到你一定的程度的时候，你不是自己真正要去追求，而自己就会有的神通。但是呢，如果是我们不去闻思修，按照这样做，然后一直就在外面追求神通的话，你可能也许会追到一个鬼通，这个时候就是可以引入你到恶趣的所以这一点很多人都不知道。
So nowadays there are many people in the what we refer to in this Buddhism, that people who are interested in Buddhism, they often their goal is to pursue clairvoyance or supernatural, and once they hear there's some kind of power, this kind of power, they don't care whether it's the authentic, the genuine path or not. They just really try to pursue for it and just go for it and try to obtain that. That is actually a very, very big mistake. As a Buddhist practitioner, our goal is to attain liberation. Even if someone who want to attain clairvoyance or supernatural power, that you have to just, as long as you follow accordingly to the teaching of the Buddha Dharma through learning, contemplating, and practicing, as you gradually take on this path and continue on, you will naturally attain these abilities. These abilities are not something to be pursued, but you will be naturally possessed. You'll be able to have them naturally as you continue on this authentic path. However, if you choose not to follow this authentic path and then you try to gain some power somewhere else, you may have gained the power of demonic force, and that could only lead you to the lower realm and just basically more suffering. So this is something that not many people know. This is something that many people don't understand.
然后在追求神通的时候，应该要好好的思考一下为什么要追求神通。那有很多人在追求神通，说这个人有神通，那个有神通，就去追求这个神通。那就算对方是一个真正有神通的人，跟你没有关系，你去追求他，你是得不到这个神通的。你去崇拜他，你也得不到这个神通的。那你要真正想得到神通，你要怎么样？你就要真正的去闻思修正统的正常的神通，你就要真正的闻思修，你才会得到真正的神通。但是如果是对方是一个邪恶的一个魔障的一个神通的话，你去追求他，你就是在追求到地狱里面去，你追求的就是地狱恶鬼旁生道啊，尤其是可能是恶鬼道。人家追求神通就是在追求这样的一个道路，所以我们一定要很清楚追求神通是什么样的一个概念。如果是你以为说追求神通就可以有一个神通力很大的大德，我跟随他，他就可以用神通力可以解脱，可以让我解脱，或者可以帮我度化到西方极乐世界啦，或者让我解脱的话，那你就完全错了。我们在这个世界上神通力最大的是谁呀？佛陀。佛陀的神通力那么大，他没有以神通度化一个众生，但是他是用什么样的度化众生？他以说法，然后让弟子们闻思修而解脱，脱离轮回成就的。然后第二个神通力最大的是谁呀？莲花生大师。莲花生大师他可以降服那么多魔，他用神通力广大，他真正度化众生的什么？以修持他的正法，闻思修，然后他指点道路，然后在这些众生依靠闻思修来解脱，来脱离轮回，最后达到解脱的。所以如果是你想用神通力的一个大德，我跟随他的话，他以神通帮我度化的话，那就完全错了。如果是一个真正的高僧大德，他有神通力的话，你不要去追求他的神通，你去追求请教他给你传法闻思修的这个路，这才是正确的，而不是去追求他的这个神通这个是完全错误的一个概念所以呢，我们要有真正的想解脱的话，就不要追求神通，我们不谈论神通神通是一个道的一个功德的一个相所以我们只要在这个道路上稳稳当当的走，这个神通它自然而然就会有的。就好像我们烧个一堆火的时候，我们不要去追求有没有烟，它烟是自然就会有的。那如果说我们只追求烟，然后不烧火的话，烟从何而来？没有地方来的所以这一点真的是很重要。
Also, for someone who is really trying to pursue clairvoyance or supernatural abilities, you really need to figure out what is the reason that you are trying to pursue this. What do you want from this? There are certain people that they try to follow those with supernatural powers or clairvoyances. However, these followers, they cannot get this kind of power anyway. In order for these people to really get this kind of power or get supernatural or clairvoyance, you just have to follow the path accordingly, the authentic path of Buddha Dharma, by learning, contemplating, and practicing. So that is the key. That is the path. Even if you do follow someone who's authentic, you're not going to get that person's power just by following them. You still have to take on the path. However, if the person you follow is someone who is not on the authentic path, and that person, then what you're following is just a demonic force, the kind of just negativity. Then as you continue to follow that, the only result you will gain is to be born into more suffering and to be born in the lower realms, such as the hungry ghost realm, the predator realms, or the animal realms, or hell realms. So we really need to understand the concept. What is this about? What is clairvoyance and supernatural abilities about? If you think that you can just follow a great master with great clairvoyance and supernatural ability, then somehow you'll just be liberated by that kind of power, then you are really wrong. The person in our history who has the strongest clairvoyance or the highest level of supernatural ability is Buddha Shakyamuni. However, he did not use these clairvoyance or supernatural power to liberate sentient beings. Instead, he taught his followers, his sentient beings, the Buddha Dharma, the teaching of the Buddha Dharma, the path. And then also the second most powerful in terms of the supernatural ability is Guru Padmasambhava. He's able to use his now supernatural power or ability, clairvoyance, to subdue many evil spirits. However, in order to liberate sentient beings, he didn't use this kind of power. Instead, he passed down his teachings so that practitioners can follow the teachings, the Buddha Dharma teachings, and attain liberation. So again, if you really think that if you just only follow a great master authentic master for his supernatural ability, that and in the end somehow you will be liberated, then you are really wrong. If you follow a true master, if you want to follow a true master, authentic teacher, you follow that teacher for that person's teaching, and request that master to give you teachings, not ask for clairvoyance or supernatural power. And through teaching, you begin learning, contemplating, and practicing. So, as a Buddhist practitioners, our goal is not to pursue clairvoyance or supernatural power. These things are a sign of on the path, that kind of like a sign of progress in your authentic Buddha Dharma path, and it was something that will gradually be acquired as you continue on this path. It's like smoke coming from fire. If you have fire, then you will definitely have smoke. However, if there's no fire and you only seek smoke, then that's not going to work. So this is a really important key point that we need to take from this.
那为什么佛陀、莲花生大士还有这么多的菩萨，他们不用神通度化众生，不用神通把这些众生都解脱了呢？因为没有办法啊，他们那么大的神通力，就是没有办法用神通来把这些众生全部都解脱了啊，所以他们没有用。不是他们没有慈悲心，而是众生的业力就是要必须用另外一种方式，他们自己就是一步一步的实修的方式来解脱，而不是神通，你的力量大，你就一下就把你推走了，不是这样的。如果是这样的话，那整个世界上整个六道的众生已经没有了，因为有那么多的佛，那么多的菩萨，你觉得他们没有慈悲心吗？你觉得他们没有愿力度化众生吗？不可能的。你觉得他们没有那个神通吗？他们神通广大，不说是佛菩萨、阿罗汉他们的神通有多广大，你们去看一下经典里面，一个阿罗汉他的神通可以看到多少，他们的神通有多大所以神通是有很广大的，但是就是没有办法度众生。所谓的度众生，他没有办法将一个业障深重的众生马上就是让他们到这个净土所以我们所谓的神通大家要知道这一点。当然高僧大德有很多高僧大德神通广大，他们是有必要或是有利于众生的时候，他们是会显示神通，会讲神通的。这个并不是在显示自己的 power， 也不是在显示我有多了不起，只是为了一些众生就是转念能够闻思修切入到闻思修的道路上，而这样显示的有，而不是说是他们有神通你就闻思修也不要了，什么都不要你就直接解脱，不是的。
So you may think that then why Buddha Shakyamuni, Guru Padmasambhava, or many of these Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, why don't they use their supernatural ability, their power to liberate sentient beings? That is because there's no way to do so. It is impossible. Even with such great power, you cannot simply just liberate sentient beings. That just simply does not work. That's not how it works. It's not that they lack the compassion, but then it's not like they lack compassion to do so or the ability to do so, but the karmic force, the karmic debt of sentient beings must be resolved through by actual practice, learning, contemplating, and practicing on the Buddha's Dharma path, on the Buddha Dharma path. So so that's really how it is. If they can really liberate all sentient beings, then there wouldn't be no 6 realms of samsara anymore. You think that many of these Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they lack the compassion? You think that they don't have the ability or supernatural ability that they wouldn't do it if they can? So not even to say Buddhas and Bodhisattva, even Arhat has great supernatural powers. Their levels of power is so immense, they can see so many things, as you can see as it documented in the sutras. However, they cannot just simply liberate sentient beings to Pure Land using their own power. That just does not work. That does not work. So, of course, there are many great masters that sometimes they would, many great masters with many high level of achieved spiritual accomplishment, they do possess supernatural powers. And sometimes when there's necessary to benefit sentient beings, they display or they talk about this kind of power. But that's really not to boast themselves, saying how great they are or what kind of level they have of accomplishment they have achieved, but to really help sentient beings to turn their mind into the Buddha Dharma path, the path of learning, contemplating, and practicing Buddha Dharma. So it's not just it is not used to say, oh, you don't need to learn or contemplate or practice anymore, just focus on clairvoyance. No, they display this kind of power in order to bring sentient beings onto the path of learning, contemplating, and practicing.
Te stavu tim jongbom chamo la nipa chongwa rere nini andul nipa trundugrong handi marong wa dugpa chan tak tom chana lar la rung go stoklar korwa yong yote tama jung tongchu si jirwim chon la chachu chapra chur namtang dripi gangzang jing la din dripshin den de shinla la so cheba lam tok ju yun den yin la yin nam de cheba chen shi ka te hande marong wa tak jit la pa pharmo chimon shi dong ni pa so yo pa tar no yong phusun yong tak po chu dong jengar la ro jang thar gesim tur jim de chang yong me per jir kor nam minchi kor nam minchi volon ro chang je ke khirchi no jang ne pe de ni pa chen de cham la yang 판만 독발 다른 소위 제구 장용 머닛 버 맵다버 지는 쳐와 대동네 ngam 샤바트 니치위 냐르라 소퍼치우랑이 바이노 디나 스튜디 na chupin drjil handin shina seyon me par nang na yo te shin chen nang han de zus nang wa te thamchi chong nang nga tang dot zin bi nim si chi sawam chopa sawa ma chopa le shwa yin te ma chik jar ne chong thop chi de tong thong me de gap ru de tong nyom shim de te la nyom shin de la the chi song te na de ju shawa dang zin nim si chi de yin la te yong jan zan de mong bo shawa de shi in de ngar ma shi ba ngan zen dir go po sha nam to in de te tak chona sho pa zere ji sha te rjim le tak chon mo la song ba le chong chu de chu le tawa ngan zen in de chu le mo wa de shi in de chu le long sho nam to in ji song so te jin to chu chi a ye wa song ba le ya song ba yan nya sa ru chun dem ba shi yu chu pong bo zan de chi ra nang ga chu nyakshik staddo chu stani chu pa tunji chu tesum tang dan ba nam juru pa lakte ji song de tin chu pa tamche jang marig ban chernang tamche jir za dangzin stani chu pa na nyakshik stani chu pa tunji chu ju sha yin de te mapchat wa shin chernang ke ndip sa bi masong dong ye matub nam bi menun ta bi men do hwe na mi ma pangwer ta wa pang ta mni pa tur nim shi chi sha chu par sa le shong yin shin chernang ka han de me par shit mni te tak tum mu chang jip tan la de sim jir sa wa ma shin nan de nga wi ma cha ja yong yut chu song shu sha wi mung nga man ro ji song ba ji so ji ba ter jip chan ji jar ne chong din de ro zong na no ba yin de sim ji shin na tur ba yin de tong par tong na cho ba yin ji song de那接下来就是断法的含义。 断法所要降服的妖魔鬼怪，并不在外界，而在于内心。外境弥现的鬼神的形象，也都是由未根除我执傲慢魔产生的。玛基空行母说：“有疑无有爱，是不是？
有爱。
对，有爱无爱魔，喜乐傲慢魔，其根为慢魔。所谓的魔，即是指我执傲慢魔。又说，众魔为意识，凶魔为人，乃我执，野魔。”即分别，断北称所称断者。米拉日巴尊者也曾对阎罗刹女说，比你更厉害、更利之魔是我执，比你更多之魔是意识，比你更总之魔是分别。此外，断法分类有3种。玛基空行母说，漫游闲山外断法，气身施使内断法，唯一根除意断法，据此3段来瑜伽。这里就是讲真正的断法的含义。真正的断法的含义，这里就是讲了，就是我执、我慢，然后呢就是傲慢心、嗔恨心，这些就是真正的制造魔的根源是从这里来的。然后在这里讲了一个断法分类3种。真正的修这个断法的时候，练习断法的时候呢，他要经过几种训练。第一种训练，这就是说漫游闲山外断法。什么叫做漫游闲山外断法呢？这个时候呢，这个修断法的人呢，修了一阵子的时候，他就要在野外，比如说是石头林或者有些地方是常常有闹鬼的地方就是这样的野外呢，他要一个人在那里去修这个断法去修这个断法。在这样修断法的时候呢，如果是这个人他修行好的时候的话，这个时候真正的外境上会显这些魔真正的会来到你面前来，魔鬼这些真正的就是像有形有色的会到你的面前来，到你的面前来的时候呢，这个时候他就以慈悲心，然后就是布施这样的方式来满足这些魔这样这个就是这里说的游满显山外断法。但是现在在修断法人里面做这样的人已经很少了。他以前在藏地的时候，就是很多修断法的人，他必须要经过这样的，他并要到108个地方，这样108个地方去修这样的断法，然后这些通过了以后就算是一个修正断法或是一个考试考过了一样的观念。因为这个过程当中是很恐怖的。如果是你自己，这个就是为什么要去这样的地方呢？就是在检验你的我执，你的我执还有多深。如果一个人还有很深的我执的时候，你到外面闹鬼的地方，你根本是待不下去的。而且那个时候是一定要晚上，一定是一个人，没有任何的伴。就是这样的地方，你就是在天快要黑的时候这个时候要开始修一次，然后3更的时候要起来修一次，然后呢就是这个凌晨快天亮的时候要修。在这个3个的过程当中就是要修这个断法，这样一夜，这样要108次念赛就是这就是外在的断法。这蛮有险山，就是险就是危险的险。什么危险呢？有鬼，然后呢就是闹鬼的地方，狮驼林就是这样危险的地方去修法的。
请问一下，3更是指12点
？3更的话，1点2点的时候吧，应该是。
OK。 So now we're on the section of the meaning of Cho. The so-called spirits to be destroyed in Cho practice are not anywhere outside. They are within us. All the hallucinations that we perceive in the form of spirit outside ourselves arise because we have not eradicated the conceit of believing in an I and a self. As Magic says, the tangible demon, the intangible demon, the demon of exaltation, and the demon of conceit. All of them comes down to the demon of conceit. And the thing that we call spirit is in fact a demon of conceit, the belief in the self. Majib also says the many spirits means concepts. The powerful spirit means belief in the self. The wild spirit means thought. To destroy these spirits is to be an adept of Cho. Jason Miller's conversation with the ogress of the rock included these words. Believing in an I is more powerful than you are, demoness. Concepts are more numerous than you are, demoness. Thoughts are more spoiled by habits than you are, demoness. He also classified the various kinds of Cho as follows. Outer Cho is to wander in fearsome places and mountains and solitudes. Inner Cho is to cast away one's body as food. Absolute Cho is to sever the root once and for all. I am a yogi who possesses these three kinds of Cho. So here what we refer to as so here we can see that the true demon is the sense of self of an I, the sense of self-attachment, the believing in what there is a self that truly exists, and then also the disturbing sense of self-arrogance, hatred, these kind of disturbing emotions as well. Here it mentioned these three types of training of Cho here. The first one here, as Middleba mentioned, the outer Cho is to wander in fearsome places and mountains in solitude. So there are three types of training of this Cho practice. The first training is referred to as the outer Cho training, is to a practitioner who engage in this Cho practice must go somewhere in the wilderness, somewhere there's no one, or those places that's been really haunted, to go there or to go into those environments and engage in the practice of Cho. If the practitioner does have certain level of stability in this practice, then demons and also evil spirits will actually come forth and manifest and in front of the practitioners. And then the practitioner would engage in the practice using compassion and the practice of generosity to satisfy these evil spirits and demons. However, nowadays it's actually very rare of these Cho practitioners to engage in this kind of practice, to which they go to somewhere haunted and somewhere in the wilderness. However, in the early days, back in the days, they would have to, as a Cho practitioner, they would have to go to 108 places like this, these kind of haunted or places there's no wilderness, there's no one around. After they have gone to 108 of this kind of environment or these places, then they have passed this training, they have passed this test. The process itself is actually very, very frightening. And why do they choose to go to this kind of environment, this kind of place to practice? The purpose is to check how much self-attachment, the sense of self you have left in your practice. If you still have a strong sense of attachment to yourself, then you wouldn't stay really long in those kind of environment because it will be very scary. So in some of the conditions, such that you have to be alone, and it has to be practiced at night in these kind of places. So when it's about to turn dark, when the sun sets, about to turn dark, you engage in one session. When it close to midnight, 1 or 2 a.m., you practice another session. And then in the early morning, before the sun rises, then you engage another session of practice. So this is what we refer to as the first level of training, the outer training of Cho.
还有些人会觉得，为什么要到那样恐惧的地方去修行呢？这个就是检验自己。比如说一个斗士就是打斗的勇士，如果他平时常常在锻炼这个打斗的时候，但是他自己还没有跟一个真正的斗士打斗的时候，他根本不知道他到底有多厉害。 他是不是到达了一个很厉害的层次，他不知道的，所以他必须要跟一个真正的斗士打斗的时候，他才会知道哦，我有多厉害啊，我的就是打斗的这个这个能力有多强，他才会知道的。所以我们修行者也是一样的，我们平时常常发菩提心，然后就是观想这样那样，但是呢，我们没有去实验的时候，我们根本不知道我的那个修行真正是有没有到位，我们不知道的啊。所以呢，这个是一个我们刚刚这里讲的，这个是断法的，但是除了断法之外，所有的都是一样的。比如说我们平时修菩提心、观菩提心，当真正的面对一个对境的时候，我们就要实践自己，我是不是做得到？我修了那么多年的法，我是不是真正的做得到？可不可以面对这样的东西？哎呀，当真正的一些我们在六度里面所讲的这些每一个东西，我们遇到的时候，看一下自己是不是能够真正的做得到。当面对一些真正让自己很生嗔恨心的时候，你看一下，你真正的面对一下自己。我常常在修菩提心，菩提心跟嗔恨心是相违的，所以我修的那个菩提心是不是我有修到位？有修到位，我在这个时刻我就不应该生嗔恨心啊，等等的，这些都是一个实践。我们不去这样实践的时候，我们根本不知道我自己在什么样的一个阶段啊，所以这些都是我们平时啊，就是任何时候都可以实践的。这个也是这样的。你真正的有没有在修断法？断法就是断我执。你真正的有没有断到我执？你就要在这样的地方去检验自己啊，是这样。
Some people may think that why do we have to go to these scary, haunting places? The purpose is to check yourself, check your level of practice, check how much, check your level of practice. For example, if a fighter is constantly training for fighting, for engaging in battles, however, if that fighter does not go challenge someone physically, I mean, really go engage in a fight with somebody, then that fighter wouldn't know how strong or what his level or his or her level of ability is. Likewise here as for the Buddhist practitioner as well. Well, this goes to the same as well. When we engage in different practice, such as the practice bodhicitta, visualization, etc. However, as we engage in the practice, if we do not put ourselves to test, then we don't know what our level of practice is at. So here, the text here talks about the practice of Cho, but this also applies to other practices as well, such as bodhicitta. When we see a subject when we encounter a situation and we see a subject, we have to ask ourselves, are we able to engage in the practice of bodhicitta? Are we able to really engage in this? Are we able to really do so according to our teaching and according to our practice? And this likewise refer to the 6 parameters that we have focused on the application of bodhicitta. When we encounter these situations, are we really able to follow and according to the teachings? Does our action match what our practice is? So, like for example, when there's something that really causes us to be really mad, to have strong anger, at that time, we can check if our level of bodhicitta has been attained or has been stabilized. Bodhicitta and anger is contradicting force. So if we truly have engaged in the practice of bodhicitta, then we shouldn't be mad at all. So, and there are many times in situations that we can allow ourselves to test our level of practice. We can see how much our level of practice are. So, like for example, here Cho means the eliminate of self-attachment. So, by engaging in this practice, one can see how much, whether or not the self-attachment has been eliminated or not.
在这个以前的大德们去修这个断法的这些有很多很多的故事，但是今天没有空讲。
So back in the days, there are actually many fascinating stories from the great master who performed this practice. But due to today's limited time, we don't have time for the story.
ji tang se don hono jin pomos nang wan de ma to tin na de din de ton san var to cho per shit to na de jang lai in de mu du tan chu chu li shong ji so song ba tar nang den zin ji to ba za ni cho ba la cho do song ba yin jin de so ba men de dong wa men de ta ba men de nam ba men de lak ba men tin na chu sha tina cha sha Shina miti nang na yo par shi par shar go so lar chu zan par chewi nang lan chen li ji no so chak shir ji nim te dar sim dong si tham che shi la ko ne shi dab ga ji tang de chen li tom ba yin jang ri chu lu yin de la jip zan ma la jar ne chang nge chu lung de dang zan ne cha de chu jet long la ker ne de ji kha正的这比去留音送吧，但是娘是能自己看能了，龙呢能按自己等等特，你把谈皮的有个杂种的学白音，有个杂种的学白音，第那中学就是这样来讲，若是确实这个他中家啦，打仗啦来讲。Handir jar zanji bargates jiska nabandi la tabayin tir marda la churwayin strong shukchupshang vjali jing zo shukchir shikda ama chumo chuluyin jik sonsos 那所以一切断法行者彻底根除了所有无明迷线称为唯一根除异断法这我刚刚讲了因此未断出我执之前外境迷线之魔杀也杀不了打也打不到压也压不住赶也赶不走比如火未熄灭之前烟无法灭尽同样未根除内心傲慢魔之前其功用所产生的外境迷线之魔神不可能消除比如言洛萨女对米拉热巴尊者说若为正悟自心空是我之魔不可数你虽驱逐无不去至尊米拉热巴尊者也说执魔为魔遭损魔知魔为心护解脱正魔为空即断法此魔罗刹男女相未正之时乃为魔制造魔障作损害如正魔本意天尊一切悉地总入生OK 它这里主要就是讲这个断法了这里断法就是为什么一讲到断法就又跟魔相关就是因为在断法里面很多的时候要就是断除我执的时候就会召唤这些魔召唤这个魔但是呢真正召唤魔的时候呢我们的刚开始的初期很多人说一切不是空性吗哪里有魔你还没有证悟之前是有魔的为什么呢因为你还有我执你还有这个傲慢心你还有嗔恨心这些就是治魔的根这些就是导致了很多的魔在外面的所以呢当这些制造了魔之后呢我们这个修法就是一个断出这些我执或者断出这些魔障的一个方法这就是在这里讲的你看上面罗刹女跟米拉日巴尊者的一些对话这些对话呢就是在米拉日巴尊者的这个传记里面就有这些魔来阻碍那个米拉日巴尊者的时候他们彼此的一些对话这样
All Chod practice are therefore to cut through the belief in the self. which is the root of all ignorance and deluded perceptions. This is what is meant by the line, absolute Chod is to sever the root once and for all. External demons are just deluded perceptions, and as long as you do not destroy your belief in itself, trying to kill them will not put them to death, beating them will have no effect on them, trampling them will not crush them, chasing after them will not make them go away. Unless you sever the root, which is the conceit within you, you will no more be able to annihilate the illusory spirit, which are its external manifestation, then get rid of smoke without putting out the fire. The ogress of the rock told Jitamila, if you don't know what that demon comes from your own mind, there will be other demons besides myself. I am not going to leave because just you tell me to go. Jitamila said, take a demon as a demon, it will harm you. Know a demon in your mind. Know a demon's in your mind, and you'll be free of it. Realize a demon to be empty, and you'll annihilate it. And again, you who appear as harmful spirits in yaksas, male or female, only when one has no understanding are you demons, bringing all your mischief and your obstacles. But once one understands, even you demons are deities, and become the source of all accomplishments. So here it talks about the meaning of Chod, the Chod practice. When we talk about this practice, we often talk about the demons or evil spirits. That is because when a practitioner is trying to eliminate the self-attachments, then these demons or evil spirits or demons will manifest. And people may say, people may say, oh, all phenomena are emptiness in nature, so why there are evil spirits appearing? That is because as long as you have the sense of self-attachment, then there will be evil spirits and there will be demons. So here, this practice is a method to eliminate the self-attachment, or basically eliminate of the obstacles that's been caused by the evil spirit or demonic forces. As you can observe from the conversation between Jetsun Minneripa and this ogress of the rock, this conversation was documented in the life biography of Jetsun Minneripa.
原本我今天想把这个断法讲完，但是好像时间上也讲不完，那就没关系，下一堂课我们再继续讲，然后就开始讲这个上师相应法。那今天就讲到这里，如果大家有什么问题要提问的话，我们就接下来的时间就来做提问问题的时间。
So originally I wanted to finish this Chod section today so that we can start Guru Yoga next session, but due to limited time, we will stop here and we will continue on this section next week. So now it is the time for Q&A.